Let's write some more unit tests for the donation box. We've already tested to make sure that when we make a donation box, it's got the correct label on it and it's got nothing or no amount of money has been donated. One other thing we might want to do is check to see what happens when we make the first donation. So we'll write @test to say we're writing a test. We'll call it first donation. And be careful that you want to use the word @test or else the test won't be run. And you also want to give the test a really good name because it's going to show up as a name by itself when we look at all of the tests. What do we want to do? Well, first of all, we'd like to we've already got Sally Ann initialized in our setup here, this line. So since it's already been recreated for this test, we can then proceed to use it. So we'll do Sally Ann dot donate, and we'll donate 200 pennies. At that point, we'll turn back around and we'll retrieve what the total donations are, just like we did in the initial unit test. But this time we're going to assure that ourselves that the total is 200. In other words, that we've added money to the box. We'll save it, and we'll run that test. Run it as a JUnit test. And this time around, we take a look at the tests that were run. The first donation was run and it passed. We can use this test to make another test. For instance, to see if we're interested whether or not all donations work properly. So we'll call this more donations. We'll add 200 the first time, but then we'll proceed to add more afterwards. So we'll take this line here and we'll say, let's just do some more tests. So what we'll do is we've added 200 the first time. We'll turn around and we'll donate more. So we need to steal this donate. And we'll donate there. And I'll run those two together so that it makes it more obvious. So this first test is saying we'll donate 200 pennies, and if we retrieve the amount, it should be 200. If we donate a subsequent 300 pennies, then our total should be 200 plus the new 300. And if we donate another 150 pennies afterwards, then the total is going to be 200 plus 300 plus another 150. Notice that I didn't do the addition myself, and one of the reasons I didn't do the addition myself is that I wanted to be clear in what was happening in the test. And so in this test, the pattern that's visible here makes it easy to see that the donation should be increasing and that each donation is added to the subsequent total. On the test, and it works properly. What else have we got left to test in donation box? One of the other tests is to see whether or not donation of negative values occurs correctly. So let's just go back and write a test for that. Again, what we can do is we can steal this test and we can say something like no negative donations. This time we'll donate 200, and then we'll donate a minus 300, and this time around when we run the test, we should stay at 300. Run the test, and this time it doesn't work because the test was wrong. It should have been minus 200. Was 200, it stays at 200. So sometimes you do make mistakes in writing the tests, which is why it's beneficial to write them in a nice, easy to understand format. And run it, and now the test succeeds.